notable pitchers making their season debuts Friday. So Justin Verlander has been out with shoulder inflammation, and he
I
will be
liked
making his day.
inflammation better.
Inflammation. It's inflammation now.
It's
so,
inflammation.
so he'll be starting against the Nats. Talk about starting with I don't know, like a little bit of padding or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be nice. That'll be really good for him to get his start that way. And I don't want to say I'm hoping they don't right the ship, but I feel like the more competitive baseball you have, the better the league is. So if the Astros can right the ship, it will make for more competitive baseball in the American League West.
I can't believe you
Right?
just said that.
I know. Well,
I'm
because
shocked.
it was so fun down the stretch last year, and I would be
It
fine
was.
if it was possible for 4 teams in the American League West to lose 100 games, the Mariners to win 100 games, and they just run away with the division. They clinch it in the middle of August, and they just coast the rest of the way, right? Obviously, I would be fine with that, but a potential three-way tie on the last day of the season makes for tremendous theater.
It was fabulous.
It was a lot of
Theater
fun.
is right.
So. Verlander made 2 rehab starts with the Sugarland Space Cowboys, which I think is a fantastic name, by the way. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 14 hits, 13 runs, 11 of those earned, and struck out 9. So here's the problem, though. He comes to an Astros team that is 26th in team ERA, 24th in strikeouts, and 29th in whip. As of Thursday afternoon, the Astros are 6-14 and dead last in the American League West.
Oh, yeah.
So there could be something missing that Verlander could bring to that team. Certainly some pitching help, but the part of the problem has been their bullpen's been awful.
A sieve, right?
Hey, yeah, a sieve. Peter and Presley have not been good, which is odd, but
Yeah,
nonetheless.
I'm surprised by Presley, honestly.
But what do? You know what?
I don't know.
I'll say this real quick about this. I feel like a lot of times closers need the high leverage, the pressure of the high leverage situation to do well.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Mariners
I've heard
closer
that
on
a million times.
Andres Munoz, the Mariners closer, came in a tie game a couple weeks ago. It was like a week and a half ago, and he walked the bases loaded and walked in the winning run in a tie game. Right? I kept thinking okay, he's going to find the zone when the bases are loaded. He did. He struck one guy out, but then he still didn't have control that day. But then the next day he comes in, and the Mariners are up 1 in the 9th inning, and he comes in and he's lights out.
Yep. Right.
I don't know what it is about the makeup of those guys. Maybe they've got a screw loose or something. I don't know, but it seems like they need the pressure of the high leverage situation to perform, and maybe Presley just doesn't have it in those other lower leverage situations, right? So
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
think that they do have screws loose, though. I
They've
think in
got
order to be a closer, you have to be amped up. You have to be juiced.
Mhm.
Otherwise, and the fact that we expect them to perform when those situations aren't on is a kind of a juxtaposition I think is really interesting. Because
Mhm.
if they should be professional ball players, but they're not Viking berserkers either. But they feel like they
Right.
need to be in order to accomplish whatever their job is.
Right,
I
because
don't know.
this is the thing about it, is because you have a middle reliever or even a setup man come in who gives up a run. You're like, well, that's the nature of the bullpen. But then the closer comes in and gives up a hit. You're like, oh no, right?
Oh boy. Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, we've all
that's
been
baseball season.
spoiled for years as well with closers who are lights out. And so when you don't get one, it feels like the anomaly. It's
Well, and
probably not statistically,
anybody who
but
grew up watching Mariano Rivera has the bar set so high, whether a
yeah,
Yankee fan or not. And granted,
I
he's the
agree.
best, one of the best to ever do it, right?
Yeah.
He and Trevor Hoffman. It's like, oh, but our closers giving up hits?
Yeah.
No. Anyway,
It's crazy.
another pitcher making his season debut is Jordan Montgomery. Makes his first start with the Diamondbacks. He's going to debut for the D-backs against the Giants in San Francisco, Oracle Park. He's been ramping up in the minors since he was signed on March 29th, and with his new agent, by the way. And
Yep.
in 2 starts at AAA Reno Aces, he's gone 7 2/3, struck out 9, walked 5, given up 9 earned runs and 2 homers. In 32 starts last season, he had a 3.20 ERA, struck out 166 with a 1.19 WHIP. Pretty good numbers, not bad in the minors early in the season, especially for a guy who didn't get spring training. I don't. I think the D-backs can expect big things out of Montgomery, though.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that's what they're hoping for, obviously, but
Mhm.
I hope so.
I
I
hope
just
so
like
too.
Jordan Montgomery. I just
Right.
like I liked him when he was in New York, and I think he got kind of a raw deal when they got rid of him, and I'm a little upset about that still. So I'm rooting for him, even though I'm a Yankees fan. But
Well,
that's
I
what
was
I
gonna
got.
say, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Brig. I think a lot of people, since he got rid of Boris, are cheering for him
Good call.
because a
I
lot
think
of
you're right.
baseball. Because how many other agents do you know besides Scott Boris? And he's kind of notorious,
Kind of one other agent, actually.
right? And there are how many in the game? Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's an interesting thing. But anyway, so keep an eye on those guys on Friday in their 2024 debuts.